In the early hours of June 16, 1896, John Robinson was abruptly awakened by his girlfriend, Ella Jones, who urgently sought medicine from him. Refusing her request led to a heated argument where accusations of infidelity flew from both sides. This escalated into a violent altercation, during which Robinson, in a fit of rage, fatally choked Jones. Afterwards, a chilling sensation made him believe she was still alive, prompting him to forcibly ensure her demise by forcing a soaked sponge down her throat. Despite the ghastly act, he callously went back to sleep beside her lifeless body. The next day, Robinson, in a haze of alcohol, left the house, drawing the blinds shut. Upon sobering up, he returned home, attempting to conceal his crime by digging a crude grave in the kitchen floor. Failing in his attempt, he resorted to covering the body with a quilt, hastily filling the shallow hole with dirt before fleeing the scene. Fearing discovery and growing paranoid, he hastily departed St. Louis, leaving behind a hidden corpse that would soon be found by concerned neighbors. His escape was short-lived. Boarding a steamboat bound for Quincy, Illinois, Robinson was recognized and arrested by a detective aware of the murder case that had sparked widespread outrage in the city. As news of the heinous crime spread, a mob of over 1,000 people gathered, threatening Robinson's life, causing the detectives to arm themselves for protection during his transfer to the Central Police Station. Despite the imminent danger posed by the enraged mob, Robinson remained eerily composed, showing no emotions while calmly recounting the events surrounding Jones's death to the detectives. In subsequent interviews, Robinson altered his story, denying responsibility for forcing the sponge down Jones's throat. Detectives, considering his previous truthfulness, speculated that his acquaintance, James Temples, might have committed the act. Temples had apparently advised Robinson to treat his girlfriend more harshly on a prior occasion. When Robinson declined to testify during the coroner's inquest, authorities ordered his return to the Central Police Station jail cell. Due to the formation of another mob en route, investigators redirected their path to avoid confrontation. Upon arrival, a large crowd had assembled, eager to catch a glimpse of the confessed murderer. Despite the detectives' best efforts to restrain the crowd, an onlooker managed to strike Robinson from behind, causing him great fear. He pleaded for his life, but the situation was diffused and he was safely returned to his cell. Days later, Temple was apprehended for an unrelated murder following a gambling dispute. During questioning, he presented a different narrative. According to Temples, Robinson sought refuge for the night, claiming loneliness. However, Robinson allegedly attempted to strangle Temples in his sleep, only to be thwarted when Temples retaliated and threatened him, preventing further aggression. Despite Temple's admission, Robinson remained the sole individual charged in the case, but negotiated a plea deal for second-degree murder with Circuit Attorney William Zacharias. Consequently, he was convicted and sentenced to serve 15 years in a state penitentiary. This decision drew heavy criticism from law enforcement officers, who deemed Robinson's crime so severe that he warranted capital punishment. After completing 11 years of his sentence at the Missouri State Penitentiary in Jefferson City, Robinson was granted parole on January 12, 1908. Subsequently, he relocated to Kansas City, where he encountered and swiftly married Mary Felton. They settled at 2213 Michigan Avenue, along with Mary's 11-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, Alma. Their union, however, was fraught with turmoil. Mary frequently accused Robinson of infidelity, causing him to fear her intentions of sending him back to jail. Driven by this fear, he resolved to eliminate her. On the evening of April 11, 1913, armed with a butcher's knife, Robinson entered Mary's room and strangled her while she slept. Ensuring her demise, he proceeded to dismember her by severing her arms and legs. Moving to Alma's room, he repeated the gruesome act, choking her to death and dismembering her as well. He disposed of Mary's limbs by burning them in the stove and buried her body in the backyard. Alma's remains were placed in a bag and then buried in a shallow grave near a pond in a nearby pasture. Mary and Alma's absence went unnoticed for nearly a month, until a neighbor stumbled upon Mary's remains by chance. Swiftly informed, the authorities issued an arrest warrant for Robinson, capturing him on May 21st in Lee's Summit. Confined once again, Robinson readily confessed to murdering his wife and stepdaughter, but also accused Mary's half-sister and neighbor, Jeannie Hill, of complicity. According to his version, Hill had enticed him with promises of escape if he killed his wife. Allegedly, she eliminated Alma to erase witnesses and due to her supposed dislike for the girl. The case gained immediate public attention, inciting the formation of lynching mobs demanding instant retribution. Subsequently, both Robinson and Hill faced murder charges. Initially, it was suggested that Hill had a dream about a woman's buried remains on the Robinson property, an accusation she vehemently refuted in court, maintaining her innocence. The preliminary trial drew widespread attention from the Kansas City populace, attracting many to the proceedings out of a macabre curiosity. A woman named Fannie Taylor emerged, accusing Robinson, known as John Robinson, of a prior wife's murder in Nashville, Tennessee, 6 years earlier, before fleeing the state. Robinson countered, affirming his Nashville origins, but denying involvement in that crime, leading to no further indictments against him in that case. During his subsequent murder trial, Robinson continued to assert the version that accused Hill of Alma's murder. Due to the horrific nature of the crimes and concerns of inciting a riot, the judge ordered the courtroom cleared except for witnesses until the trial's conclusion. Robinson was ultimately convicted despite his attempt to plead guilty, which the judge rejected, entering a plea of not guilty on his behalf. In his closing statement, he advocated for Robinson's execution, but left the decision to the jury. Shortly after, Hill, who had been released on bond, was completely exonerated when Robinson finally confessed that her involvement in the crimes was entirely fabricated. Following his conviction, a psychiatric assessment concluded that Robinson possessed the cognitive capabilities akin to that of an 11-year-old child. This evaluation prompted a member of the State Board of Mediation and Arbitration to implore Governor Elliott Major for a reprieve. Governor Major, however, declined to commute Robinson's sentence, affirming the decisions of the lower courts and sealing the convict's fate. In response, Robinson appeared largely unaffected, expressing in an interview that the decision didn't particularly trouble him. On February 15, 1915, Robinson met his end at the gallows in Kansas City. As he approached the gallows, his reported final words were, "I am happy, I am ready to go." Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing by clicking the red subscribe button below. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support means the world to us. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.